All right, you're listening and watching Transparency and Merit. I'm JP. I'm here with Brian, and I think we got. All right, you're listening and watching Transparency and Merit. I'm JP. I'm here with Brian. Am I hearing it again? All right, you're listening and watching Transparency again.
Sorry, there it is. Sorry.
Wow. Anyways, we're going to get into this 1994 crime bill a little bit, but what are we talking about here tonight? What's our
You know what, Joe? The debate was upon us, and the 1994 crime bill was brought up, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later. First, let's hear what Joe Biden has to say about the 1994 crime bill.
We're going back in time.
And we'll also get into other things as well. But
let me tell you what is in the bill. And I'll let you all decide whether or not this is weak. Let me get down here a compendium of the things that are in the bill. One, the death penalty. It provides 53 death penalty offenses. Weak as can be, you know? We do everything but hang people for jaywalking in this bill. That's weak stuff. Now I'm going to point out some specific things, 6 of them, that we find inadequate about the president's plan. I think the president has to join us in making a significantly greater commitment to these 6 areas to stem the rising tide of violence in America. And that's what it is, violence. First, we have to join together to ensure that drug dealers are punished swiftly, surely, and severely. In line with what the president is calling for, we have to hold every drug user accountable. Because if there were no drug users, there would be no appetite for drugs, and there'd be no market for them. Let's take a look at what the real problem is. It's not just how many people are using drugs, as the president said.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
The number of people using.
Okay, so this is interesting, going back in time and seeing Biden go. Do you feel he's changed? He stands by his words.
Well, it was a different country at the time. I mean, America was really a much more conservative nation, and they were, there have been a few times where America has been really strict on crime and had a pushback. This is a unique time in America where we're being a little bit maybe more lenient on crime than we are being tough on crime. America's changed quite a bit.
Let's hear a couple minutes of this.
Cocaine in particular is down in our country. That's true. But the violence associated with drugs is spewing out all over America. And that's terrible. I know it's hard to believe, but this very day, violent drug offenders will commit more than 100,000 crimes on this day alone. And the sad part is that we have no more police in the streets of our major cities than we had 10 years ago. And what the president proposes won't help much. What he proposes is no increase over what the Congress has already approved last year. In a nutshell, the president's plan doesn't include enough police officers to catch the violent thugs, not enough prosecutors to convict them, not enough judges to sentence them, and not enough prison cells to put them away for a long time.
And what did we see as a result? A boom in jail facilities everywhere.
Well, I mean, a lot of criminals have been let out, and I just wanted to say that the Biden crime bill, or the 1994 crime bill, had bipartisan support. It had support of a lot of black pastors, and the violent crime rate was nearly cut down to 46% from 1994 to 2000. From 46% from 2004, from 1994 to 2017. Biden suggested that the 1994 legislation should be credited as misleading. We looked into the similar claim from Bill Clinton in 2006 and found experts pointed out to other factors most of the crime decreased. For instance, a 2005 report from the Government Accountability Office estimated that the funding for community-oriented police services, which resulted in tens of thousands of additional police officers, contributed to a 1.3% decline in the overall crime rate. You know, I'm kind of curious to what helps stop crime and what helps eliminate this kind of stuff. I kind of believe that I think that since the late 1960s, America has become a little bit more degenerate, and crime, spikes off and on from time to time. I mean, there was the book Freakonomics, which I guess kind of said that abortion, to a degree, kind of helped with crime overall when abortion became legal. I think it kind of hinted at that, and I don't know if that's true or not. I don't want anyone quoting me on that. But there are a lot of factors that have made the crime rate rise. And this is since the 1960s. We accept things that we never would have accepted back in the day.
So I'm going to take a step back here, and the title of our show is Presidential Debate 2020 and Low Information Voters. Why did we go there? What is a low information voter?
You know what I mean? It's really the voter that just takes what reporters or government officials say on fact and don't tend to look deeper into the situation and into, because what is reality and what is not? And I'll tell you something, Joe. When the reporter, I forget her name, but when she said parents have to have the talk with their kids, that black and brown parents have to have the talk with their kids about police officers. You know what? I don't remember, all through the I grew up I was born in the late 60s, grew up in the 70s, 80s and 90s. And it's only until recently where people have said, oh, black and brown parents have to have the talk with their kids. It sounds so manufactured and made up. And that we put this kind of thing as though, the reporter, when she asked the question, she put it like it was factual. And I feel like our perceptions and stuff are really being manipulated by people, and that's one of the things we're going to do tomorrow on Friday. Is how media, from the start of media, whether it be newspapers, from radio, from television to the movies, have all kind of manipulated our reality and showed us the reality that other people want us to see. And this is what's happening right now. People, all of a sudden, this 1994 crime bill is the worst thing in the world, and Biden should, that's the one thing about Biden that a lot of people, who, if they really thought about it, perhaps wouldn't disagree with. But particularly with the crime that's going on right now in our cities. You know, I think there are a lot of Americans that kind of want to get tough on crime. You know, we've had a few riots, and you know, some people cannot be rehabilitated, and it's also been, you know, looked at rehabilitation versus incarceration, and in a lot of ways, I believe a lot of studies have shown that rehabilitation may not work, and incarceration may be the key. If they're repeat offenders, they're going to you just got to lock them up and throw away the key. You know, and I mean, that was the thing with our three strikes laws here in California that we had, and now we seem to be kind of against that, and I guess we're back on the rehabilitation kick. I don't know if we'll learn our lesson, or maybe if we'll find a better way to rehabilitate criminals.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's an ethical stipulation. I don't know stipulation, but it's a major factor in the profession that I've been involved in for a long time now. The whole concept of rehabilitation is, you know, basically it's just it's a big factor in how therapy and social services are delivered. It's in all of the handbooks and trainings, even though it's maybe not officially described as rehabilitation. There is that kind of I don't know if it's just an aspect of the job, and for me and for many others like me that worked in the mental health field, I still do somewhat. You know, you just find that there's a lot of people kind of thinking that way, and you don't want to sound defeatist. You just want to, you know, focus on what does work. And looks like we're having a phone call here. Let's see who we got. Although I think we know. Yes, can I help you?
How many thumbs down have you gotten so far?
Right. You know what? That should be a crime too. Now, do you remember the 1994 crime bill, Howard?
I do.
Oh. And
that's when they put all the super predators in prison, where they belong.
So you supported Biden in his bid to put super predators in jail. You were absolutely in favor of that.
Yeah, a stopped clock is right twice a day, unless it's a military clock, and then it's only right once a day.
Yes.
Sometimes they get it right.
Now, did Pennsylvania? Because I know here in California, where Joe and I are from, we had a 3 strikes law. Did Pennsylvania have anything similar to that?
I don't believe so. Did you say that proudly that you and Joe are from California?
You know what? I'm not proud or ashamed, you know, where I'm from. It's just, it is what it is.
It's a lot bit of a letdown, but we kind of saw it coming. Anybody that grew up here has seen it coming for years and years, and I don't think anybody's gone on and boasted about being from California. I mean, people do.
But, there. Yeah, but yet you stayed there.
Oh, I know. I went out.
At the end of A Fish Called Wanda, what happens to the main villain in the movie?
I admit it. I want out of here. Okay. I mean, there's.
But you do remember A Fish Called Wanda. You do still remember movies, yes?
Jamie Lee Curtis, right? Yeah, I remember.
No, not yet. Jamie Lee Curtis was in there, but the main villain got stuck in cement while what's his name with the stutter, maybe Joe Biden, came at him with a very slow steamroller. I don't know why we call them steamrollers, because they probably don't use steam to roll anymore. And then he got flattened, didn't he?
Yes.
And he stood there in wet cement and yelled while the cement hardened, just like you guys. Now you're in California. You've just gotten flattened by Newsom. You've been flattened.
Well,
and you watched while the flattening was coming.
Our last good governor was Mayor Reardon, and who was the governor when Reardon was around? Anyways, it's been since a good 30 years, 40 or more. I mean, it's just been horrible, one after the next, progressively worse.
Ever since Philadelphia had Rizzo. Mayor Rizzo.
Oh yeah.
Mayor Rizzo didn't take crap off anybody. He was an ex-police captain. Was he in charge of the whole police force? I keep forgetting.
Yeah, he was a big guy.
Rizzo didn't take crap off anybody. Frank Rizzo was a tough old bastard. It was a Democrat and a Republican. And these cities, look at the cities. They dictate what you live in. You live in Los Angeles County, for Christ's sake. You're in the worst place in California. I can think of a lot better places to live in California than Los Angeles.
I can imagine.
What about the wine country?
Of course.
Well, what about the wine country? You're down south or in San Diego. You live in the smog-filled, Democrat-filled, now it's shit-filled, crime-ridden. I mean, tell me something positive about Los Angeles.
Well, I will say this: places that formerly used to be great, like San Diego and the places up north, those aren't doing so much, doing better either. They've all taken a tumble. They all kind of suck.
My point was, they're probably doing better than where you are right now.
That hasn't changed. I guess it's all kind of relative. Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of everything's in the dumper right now. It's just a bad climate here for anything, from business to you name it. Recreational activities even suck out here. Everything's horrible. So it's just a bad thing. And it starts with the leadership.
Just imagine when Biden and Harris win.
Can you imagine? I mean, just come on. Yeah.
And all of you people that said to me, oh, well, he's such an idiot. He got out. He left. He ran away.
I don't think you're an idiot for running away.
Well, I don't take the characterization that I ran anywhere. See, I made a choice. I said I'm going to go where I'm treated better. And that's where I am. I'm treated much better here than you guys are treated there. I'm treated better here. Why do I have to stay in America, for example, when America is completely going down the shitter? And the American people, well, they're not even really the American people anymore, are they? So all these people that have now taken you down the shitter, all the people that are in the streets, all the people that are running things, the Ilhan Omars, they're not really American, are they?
They would disagree with that.
From within. Boy, you've been felled from within. America let all these people come into America who don't have American ideals. They didn't know what America was or what it's supposed to be or what it had been. They just wanted to make it look like the shithole where they came from. And that's exactly what you got. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, I think they don't want to make it look like the shithole. They think they can improve on what America is. They think they can make it more equal.
Why would you believe that, though? Why would you think that that's even possible? Tell me where that's happened.
It hasn't. It's never happened.
Right.
But
so there's no track record anywhere that anything could be better. Certainly it's different, but nobody really wants different things. Except for some of these people who want so different. All they want is the freedom taken away, because a lot of these people aren't about freedom. They don't understand what freedom is. Apparently, even the students here in Thailand understand what freedom is. You ever notice that they got a little freedom movement going on here?
I have not. I did not know that. I just know that I have a family member that just propped up that book. She propped up a book.
After that last conversation, you're bringing that person up again.
I know.
Again with that.
I didn't say anything to them.
You don't even like this person.
Well, you know what? God, I am not a fan. I'm not a fan of the anti-racist left. I find them to be.
You literally could have brought up anybody else on the planet and had a better go at it.
Yeah, you brought up that creature.
You brought up that one person.
Creature that by virtue of chromosomes has something in common with you, and yet has nothing in common with you.
These mysteries.
I'm surprised how many people are brainwashed. But no, let me finish. She brought up the book. Have you heard of the book White Fragility?
I'm sure it's a book I wouldn't bother reading, but yes.
I'm having sirens come through my block. So.
Probably some super predator took a dump on the street and robbed a liquor store at the same time.
He may have, and gave everyone COVID. While we're at it,
we still don't have it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
how do they do it?
I'm not sure. I mean, the thing is, it seems like the press is all about blaming the president and asking why did he lie 1,000 times instead of what do we do now? What is the best solution to the problem?
Wait a minute, you watched Joe Biden live this morning, didn't he?
No, what did he lie about this time?
Oh, well, any question about his son and the family business of shaking down countries, he said, that's not true. Well, that wasn't true.
Now, how effective do you think the debate was, and do you think it's going to have an effect on the voters?
I would have preferred Trump to go down his throat and make him stutter, but that's just me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I don't know who's going to win this election.
Hold on, Mr. Mitt. Hold on, Brian.
Yeah.
Why are you so far away from your microphone that you're yelling and I have to strain to hear you?
No, you can't hear me correctly? You can't hear me that well?
That's fine. You sound better.
Just give two descriptions that are correct. No, I cannot. You're far away from your microphone.
Wherever you just were was fine.
Microphone.
All right, am I all right now? Am I sounding okay now?
The question is, are you using your computer or your microphone?
I'm using my computer. My microphone does not work.
Yeah, you gotta set up. We'll set up the microphone so you can make love to the microphone again. But go on.
That's right. So Brian, we know that you inherited lots of money, and we also know that you work. So you're not a slouch. Get online, pry some of that money instead of going to Grubhub or some other thing that's going to feed you stuff you shouldn't be eating, and order yourself a decent microphone off of Amazon.
I might just do that.
a condenser microphone if you really want to. You can get them for pretty cheap. I've heard $40 ones work just as well as the most expensive.
Samson makes a good microphone.
Samson.
Try one of them.
All right, good to know.
So the debate. Where is the
Yes.
microphone in relation to your round dashed head?
I'm just using the internal microphone there.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's not-
So maybe you get closer to that microphone.
maybe I could.
Anyways, he sounds fine. And so, what are you a low information voter?
Howard,
Howard.
yes. Are you all? Yeah.
As much as you know me, I'm a low information nothing.
That may be very well correct.
I disagree, but we can
Maybe
assume
you
you're not.
love me, but you could not compare me to a Hurricane Dean, could you?
No, and you almost got Hurricane Dean to come attack both Joe and I. He wanted to.
He wouldn't stop talking about what you said about his face.
Yes. Yes. You
Wait
said
a minute, what did I say about his face?
It was a game of choice phrase. That
yes, it was a choice phrase. If we say it on the air and YouTube may come down and who knows, Mr. Dean may be listening and he may put a strike against our channel for the inflammatory thing that you said.
Remember what I said?
I'll give you
I
the-
remember obviously it was.
I will give you the
obviously it was
initials.
profound.
I will give you the initials. You gave him the GF.
And you didn't say, yeah.
So
I don't know what it means. I'm still maybe I haven't. I just woke up. I
GF.
did pick up the
Gay and then FACE. You said he had.
Absolutely.
You really fooled the algorithm there, Brian. Okay, so the crime bill. Where are we going here? Are we done? Keep going.
We had the crime bill. Now fracking.
Yes.
Biden is saying that he is in favor of fracking and that he was never against it. What do you say on that, Howard?
Wait a minute, Biden is a liar.
It seems like he is. Yeah, he seems like he lied on that one.
But Biden seems to lie very easily lately. He just says, "No, that's not true. Come on," and you know, in his head, he's saying, "Man," but
Yeah.
somebody told him not to say it anymore. So he just says, "Come on."
Now they brought up. Now Biden brought up the Central Park 5. Do you remember that? And do you have an opinion on the Central Park 5 today?
I remember it vaguely, but that's your typical New York bullshit.
Yeah, and there's a lot, and the thing of it is, there's a lot of evidence that those kids were guilty at the time they confessed, and also both they did a movie and a documentary about the Central Park 5, and I've heard that both of those are rather flawed, and I'll get into that later.
I was just a blood one.
Yes.
But it seems like the Central Park 5 were guilty of assault, and I've heard that they were still guilty of sexual assault.
Well, they were guilty of something. Don't you worry about that.
the Brett Weinstein Unity Project group on Facebook was permanently banned for some reason, and actually I hear the Brett Weinstein group has been restated. I could be wrong on that, but I've heard that it's been restated.
What is the Brett Weinstein? Why do you know it? What is it?
Well, Brett Weinstein is a former professor who was I think he was threatened by a group because
Of students or just a group?
yeah, because he refused to
Do with their grades, maybe.
not to well, they wanted only blacks to show up to class, and they wanted like I forget what it was, but Professor Weinstein refused to comply, and he was basically threatened by the identitarian left. And I think there are a lot of people that are voting against against the Democrats because they are in bed with the identitarian left, and even the Republicans seem to support to a degree the identitarian left and the woke left.
Now, this identitarian, is this a new word? Did you just make it up?
No, I've heard this word before, Howard.
Identitarian. I haven't heard that word before.
Well, and I may have. It might be the the identity politics left, or the woke left.
Oh, did you make up this word, or did you get this from something?
No, I didn't make up any of the. Not to my knowledge, did I make up any of those words.
You have been known to coin your own words.
Name one that I coined.
And it's hard to come by. See, that's a difficult question to answer, because when you speak a foreign language, and I know that cuts you out, but when you speak a foreign language and somebody speaks that language to you incorrectly, it's very difficult for you to tell them what they said incorrectly, because you can't wrap your head around it. It's just a thought that just doesn't go in your head and stay there. So when you make up words or munge words, it's hard for me to remember exactly what they are because they don't make any sense to my brain.
Brian, do you have any 12-volt batteries laying around?
Are you going to make him do something with his tongue?
I need him to get on a chair and change his smoke alarm, which has been beeping now for 7 days straight.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Darren just said people. Wait, hold on a second. People are not telling the polls. People are not telling the polls the truth. I've heard fear of being canceled by the far left. Okay, so people are not telling the polls the truth. Yeah. So yeah, there are a lot of people out there, by the way, who are not telling pollsters the truth because they are afraid of being canceled by the far left.
I think that that's a good thing. We should hope that that's true.
Yeah, and who knows? And who knows how accurate the polls are? Now, do you have any insider information on how good the polls or how bad the polls are, Howard?
No. How would I know that? I don't talk to people in the United States face to face.
Yeah, but I figured you'd be on some kind of website that might have the inside scoop.
You can't go by what you see on websites. You don't know what's true and what's not anymore.
No, and that's the truth. We don't know, and we don't know what people think. I really do think that we don't know what people think, and there is a large silent. I don't know if it's a majority, but there's a large silent contingency out there that is afraid of being canceled.
Those are the ones with guns.
They may have firearms, yeah. I mean, because they can afford them. Guns are rather expensive.
They not may. They've got guns.
No, that's true. I have family members that have guns, and a lot of them. And they're not in this part of the country.
Yes. My ballot is still making its way to Pennsylvania.
Well, Trump needs your vote in Pennsylvania.
How do you know? Did you get it tracked? Certified?
I sent it registered.
Registered. Okay.
It's in New York.
Getting closer.
Yes. In fact, I canceled a vote.
Okay.
I canceled a vote by a Biden voter.
You sure did.
Who just no. I contacted the election commission in Pennsylvania to tell them of voter fraud.
And
they're on the lookout for that ballot. Somebody's going to go to jail.
the heck? The heck are you talking
Somebody very near and not so dear to me, but very near to me, is going to go to jail for election fraud. Somebody who likes to tell people things on Facebook. Loves to tell their story on Facebook. And I'll give you a hint. Somebody near, but not dear to me.
Huh.
And I turned them in.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Is that all we
Somebody
get?
near,
I want to
near
know who.
but not dear.
Near, but not for election fraud.
Yeah.
For election fraud, yes. For boasting about it, no less.
What? Boasting about it? Who did this dirty deed?
In fact, I contacted Project Veritas, but I guess they didn't seem that interested.
Huh. Voter fraud.
But
Is it somebody we know? It must be. Anyways, Brian.
You know what? I think this will about do it for the show. I think we could touch on more, but I think that we've kind of exhausted things.
Any day now, our new website will be live. I'm waiting to get the final results.
I don't know why they called me. I don't know why they called to tell me that they're coming. Why don't they just tell me when they're here? Saying these ties are these ties. I call them human doings.
I'm coming now. I always hate that phone call. It's like, just save it. Just call me when you're here.
It's difficult, very difficult when you don't speak the language to know if they're here or they're coming. But this one knew a little English, so he helped me along. I just got my internet boosted to real fiber optic. I have fiber right to the modem. Shall I tell you how my internet is?
How fast is your internet?
675 up and down.
Oh man.
And let me tell you what it costs, because you'll be even more shocked when I tell you this.
Okay.
$18 a month.
What? God.
$675.
When I was in
$18 a month.
When I was in Korea in 2002, they had everybody had lightning fast internet already. It was unbelievable. I can't imagine what it's like in where you're at. It must be insanely good. And it does make a difference.
They're catching up here. I had to watch them run the fiber line from the electrical room to my condo. My condo is right next to the electrical room. And they ran the line through the ceilings of the hallways to the cross end of the condos by removing all the light fixtures along the way. And then they fished the wire, the fiber optic cable, which is very thin, and brought it into the condo. Now, they had to go on the other side of the building, at the other end of the hallway. It would take them all day to do that. Took them 2 hours to do me.
Now,
I'm right next to the electric.
let me jump in here. It looks like it's going to come down to your state, your old state of Pennsylvania. I wonder, and you don't know like how well Pennsylvania will be for or against, will be for Trump or for Biden. You don't have an idea on that. You don't talk to any of your old friends.
He doesn't hear me. I'm responsible for more than one vote. Not only did I vote for myself, but I also nullified a vote from someone who's no longer with us.
Oh, I know who.
And somebody who is still with us decided that they were going to vote that ballot. As they told their Facebook friends, which they tell their Facebook friends everything.
Oh, no.
Including how they excrete when they are going to go get themselves a nice colonoscopy. They give their friends great detail of what the day before is like. A 400-pound thing that is near but not dear. Told their Facebook friends everything about their excretions all day. Yes. So I'm really responsible for two ballots in a way. I've nullified a ballot that would have gone to Biden because the person who is near but not dear is a Biden voter, which should not be surprising why they are not dear.
All right, I think we'll end it on that. Good enough for me.
I don't think so. More than just that. Prisons, they're going to have to decide on this, whether they put this one in state prison or federal prison, or maybe both.
All right. So it looks like the election is all coming down to Pennsylvania. Which way will Pennsylvania go?
Well, I think that Pennsylvanians have heard enough about old Joe Biden and Kamala. By the way, has anybody seen Kamala Harris? She could be with Hunter Biden.
Maybe.
I have not seen her in a while.
Kamala and Hunter are in the same place. Have you even talked about the fact that you've not seen nor heard from Kamala Harris in the last week? She very conveniently ducked out of everything by claiming that someone around her got the COVID. Because anybody around you gets the COVID, you got to run and hide. She's certainly hiding. Where'd she go? Anybody want to talk about that? Did that miss your radar?
It did not. It did not. No, I was talking about it today. In fact. Okay, I think we're done.
Why do you think that Kamala Harris is nowhere to be seen or heard?
You know what? We will go.
I really don't know all politics.
Could it be that people just don't like her?
I keep hearing people keep saying President Harris. I keep hearing that over and over. Oh.
Well, that's what's going to be the result of a Joe Biden presidency for sure. But that wasn't my question. My question was, do people like her? I don't think they do.
No.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think that on the likability scale, she's very unlikable. And by the way, have you seen pictures of our friend Hunter Biden? he's got those meth teeth.
Uh-oh.
You know, for a man who's got millions of dollars, for a man who can buy whatever he wants, kickbacks to the big guy, gives a nice kickback to the big guy and to the family and gets everybody going. That guy's got horrible teeth.
I feel like I'm being held captive, Brian. Can we go?
Let's go.
You are, because you're not talking about the things that matter.
Well, we
I
just hit a
think
topic, and I think we were done. We're not covering it all tonight. I understand.
I
what
think
you're
it's interesting that Kamala is nowhere to be found. Do you think she'll even poke her head up from her bunker before the election? I guess
She really
the last
has
thing
been
we'll
MIA.
see is a picture of her voting in California.
Well, I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
Who knows? Okay, thanks for calling, Howard.
Now,
Appreciate it.
Here's
go.
another thing that I think
Oh,
that ought to
son
be
of a
discussed.
bitch. What?
Yes. The absolute dearth of properly speaking people. And when I say that, I mean people who are speaking in public, like Nancy Pelosi. Did you watch the last press conference for Nancy Pelosi, who stands, I don't know, 20, 30 feet from everybody, but she wears that mask? And she sounds like she's talking like this. I'm going to tell you something very important. All day and you must listen to me. What have we become when we see people in nightclubs, in bubbles, in ball bubbles, dancing inside the bubble? This is the biggest practical joke I've ever seen on any people, and it's the people of the entire world. It's a big joke.
It's sad, and it is a joke. It's a in my mind, it's like a ritual, and everyone's just like glad to walk right into this ritual and complete the spell for them. I mean, it's just nuts.
Why has nobody mentioned that every time Joe Biden takes on and off his mask, that he fingers the front of it like he's got an 11-year-old girl and has got his hand up her skirt? Did you notice that?
Jesus Christ. All right, now I think it's time to end this show. We're trying to make this clean and we don't get
Thank you. Yes. All right. Good night. Good night. That's it.
So the idea of Joe Biden finger banging little Sally